North Korea is firing back at the United States over a new arms deal with South Korea, and Pyongyang is warning of a strong and immediate response. The trigger is Washington's approval of a potential $125 million sale of AIM-9X Sidewinder missiles and related equipment to Seoul. North Korea has branded the weapons package a new threat to its security environment. Pyongyang says the expanding military integration between the US and its allies in the Asia-Pacific cannot be ignored, accusing Washington of worsening regional tensions.
We once again and clearly recognize the expression of the U.S. open attitude to be always hostile to the DPRK. Now that the military integration of the U.S. and its allies is being accelerated in the Asia-Pacific region, we cannot overlook the adverse effect of the U.S. sale of its weapons to the ROK on the regional security environment.
And North Korea is not limiting its criticism to the Sidewinders. Pyongyang says Washington has also approved other weapons for South Korea this year, including advanced air-to-air missiles, naval and attack helicopters, and precision-guided bombs. The warning comes at a particularly sensitive moment. President Donald Trump has renewed his push for another meeting with Kim Jong-un, saying Kim responded to his outreach. But despite that opening, North Korea has shown little official interest in returning to negotiations. Now, with diplomacy on one track and military pressure on another, Pyongyang is threatening what it calls a serious, immediate, and powerful response to hostile acts. The question is whether Trump's renewed outreach to Kim can gain traction as Washington simultaneously strengthens South Korea's military capabilities. Russian military aircraft have triggered a fighter scramble over South Korea's eastern skies. Several Russian planes entered Seoul's air defense identification zone near Dokdo and Ulleung Island before pulling back. South Korea says it detected the aircraft in advance and sent fighter jets into the air, preparing for any possible contingency. The flashpoint is the Kadiz, a sensitive buffer zone designed to prevent dangerous encounters between military aircraft. Crucially, the Russian planes did not breach South Korea's sovereign airspace, but their approach forced Seoul to respond militarily, putting Russian aircraft and South Korean fighter jets into the same tense regional equation. And this is where the alarm bells get louder. This is the second such incident in weeks. In late June, nearly 10 Chinese and Russian military aircraft also entered the Kadiz over South Korea's eastern and southern waters. Seoul protested to both Moscow and Beijing, and now Russian aircraft are back. The June operation was described by Beijing as a China-Russia strategic air patrol. Moscow called it routine military cooperation. But repeated entries into South Korea's air defense zone are harder for Seoul to dismiss as a one-off. With Russian military activity again approaching the Dokdo-Ulleung area, South Korea is scrambling fighters and watching the skies. And the bigger geopolitical picture is even more explosive. Russia's deepening military partnership with North Korea, China-Russia joint patrols, and repeated Russian activity around South Korea are converging across the region. No sovereign airspace was violated, But this is no longer just a routine flight story. Seoul is being forced to scramble fighters as Russian military pressure around the Korean peninsula grows.